So Barbara, as people will see right away, we're not in your garden today, we're actually on location. And we're visiting the garden today of your friend Jim
Dalziel.
Jim Dalziel. And the reason we're here is because Jim has a collection. And you and I have talked about this collecting business before, and you in fact have made a little bit of a specialty in collecting hostas.
That's right, but I only have probably just under 100, and
it sounds like a lot to me.
Well, it does, and of course you think you're quite impressive until you see somebody who's a professional like Jim. And let's just take a look around.
Now, Jim has specialised in daylilies, and when we came into the garden he told us that he has upwards of 1,500 varieties, and I have to say that I found that difficult to imagine until I actually got out here and saw all these varieties. Here comes the dog, Barbara.
Oh, this is terrific. Oh,
big guy.
This is fabulous. This is the garden dog.
Here, you can come in.
And anyone who says that you can't garden and have a dog is just
living proof of that.
Exactly. Here he is. He's absolutely wonderful.
Yeah, he won't bite.
I don't think so. He's got something in his mouth. It was.
So what I found fascinating, Barbara, as you know, as a newbie gardener, is that I can see now why there's so many different varieties. Because when you look at them, a person who doesn't really know may not realise that this, for example, is a completely different variety from this. Now you can see looking at them that they are in fact two different colours, but that's not always the case. Some of the varieties are really pretty close looking, but it might just be that one has a ruffled edge and one doesn't.
Exactly.
So, and it's interesting that there are, in fact, so many different varieties. It's beautiful.
Okay.
So, not only are the different varieties of daylilies, some of them quite similar to each other, but in fact, as a newbie gardener, I didn't even realise that this particular plant that you're looking at now isn't a daylily.
Well, it's a lilium, although this is where common names and botanical names. People say lily's a lily, but if you see, have a look, the lilium comes from a bulb and it's highly scented. And the daylily is actually, it's a hemerocallis, and if you see it has this...
What does that mean, hemerocallis?
Beauty for a day.
Oh right, yes, you mentioned that to me before.
And they've got these lovely grass-like leaves that go right to the base. So entirely different plants.
So they come from seeds,
family.
And this comes from bulbs.
Actually, yes, that's correct. But just to make things even more confusing, Helen, you can grow bulbs from seed. Oh. But let's not go there today.
Okay, that's for another day. But this, I think the overall effect of Jim's garden, and of course he doesn't just have daylilies, he has many other things, but I think the daylilies are what contribute most to this feeling of lushness, isn't it?
It's just absolutely stunning. We have had record rainfall
in this. Which has helped, I think.
Oh, absolutely. And you'll also notice not only is he collecting daylilies, but he collects hosta too.
Right.
And as Jim mentioned, that people who like, I said, why is it? I said, I like daylilies, I like hostas, and he said, well, I've been trying to figure that out. And he thinks possibly that people who like daylilies are always looking for something to actually just mark and edge the pathway so it'll be just stunning.
Right.
And you'll just see how well it works.
Yeah. That's just worked beautifully there.